Hello everybody, it is Calxiyn here, and last time we had a screen like this, it was a drama video, so here we go.
I hate myself that we're doing drama videos.
Last time it got 20,000 views.
Don't you want to be better than that?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about Arryn. Well, not about Arryn, it's more about what Arryn said. Arryn is a cinnamon roll and should be protected. First of all, to the people hating on Arryn for this, like, fuck you first. First of all, fuck you. You should not be doing that. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? Like, don't do that. It's not really her fault. So let's talk about this. I understand completely the importance of Bumblebee within the community. That's why I want everyone to know that the song wasn't something myself or the crew knew about. If the song isn't directly in the show, it doesn't get consulted over. Jeff is an amazing musician, creates great work on his own, so the song isn't bait, it's a piece he wanted to share that isn't in the show. So what do you want to talk about first, Hunter? Do you want to talk about the bait thing, or do you want to go, like, with my business side of the argument?
Well, first I'm going to argue
first?
that she never actually says Bumblebee, she just puts a B, so she could be discussing the serious issue of hive collapse.
Hunter?
But...
Okay. So...
But maybe go with, because I feel like that's the easiest one to unpack.
The business or the bait?
The business.
Okay. So let's start with a couple things here. Arryn can talk about whatever she wants, but it's probably, and she even deleted this after people were harassing her,
yeah.
Like, it's probably not a great idea for her to make these sorts of announcements. Like, if CRWBY wanted somebody to post it somewhere, it should have been at least one of them or Jeff or something. Yeah, like, I don't think this is right for her to do. But I feel like she's
still a pretty good mouthpiece. You know?
Well, no, because now it's gone.
I mean, not a great one, but if it was done better, it could have been a good mouthpiece.
I think that certain things should be handled by a social media public relations person. So, for example, I can't think of something right now, but usually if companies screw up, like, you see a lot of airlines will post, we are investigating this matter, and, like, blah, 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 on their official thing. So here's my first mistake, in my opinion. RWBY does not have an official Twitter. The Rooster Teeth Twitter is fine, but that's not where I would put this. Like, this isn't an issue that the majority of Rooster Teeth people are gonna give a shit about, you know? Like, they need a RWBY-specific Twitter like they have a RWBY-specific Facebook in order to, like, post stuff about the show, of course, but if they need to get something out this badly, that's where it should go. And if you guys are asking, like, Hill, what do you know about this? Like, my mom's in social media managing. She manages the website and, like, all of that stuff for a toy company, and then I'm taking a course next year at Ryerson, and I'm kind of in preparation for that stuff.
That doesn't really qualify you?
No, but
anything.
I know a little bit about how things usually work, is what I'm trying to say. Like, You've been consulted. Yes. Over a dinner table. 5 minutes ago. I've been consulted. No, but it's also the fact that I'm taking the course. You know, I have an interest in it. I've researched about the topic enough that that is a career choice that I would like to go into. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean I know how Rooster Teeth works, but generally I can see this as a bad PR move. You know? Like, it's caused more beef than it would have if it didn't exist. Yes, but I don't think it's a significant amount of beef. It's like a slightly more beef. So anyway, I think RWBY needs an official Twitter. Can we at least agree on that? Like, for the sake of just... Fuck it. Yeah, why not? It needs one, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't think, I mean, Rooster Teeth for Twitter's probably fine, but not, like, RWBY is very big. It's probably bigger than, not everything else on Rooster Teeth combined, but it's probably bigger than most of the stuff they do other than RVB, I would wager. You know, and so it's kind of important for that to have its own little thingy-majiggy, you know what I'm saying? So that's social media. We need a social media account for RWBY first, and it needs to be run by a PR person and not... Well, Barbara is actually the social media manager, so I wouldn't mind if she did it, but the voice actors running it, if they have no experience in that background, is probably not a great idea. Here's my second thing, okay? I cannot believe that the song was not consulted over. You know, like, Jeff could put in, like, you know, some swear words and, like, some things about threesomes and nobody checked it? Like, are you kidding me? I know he wouldn't do that. I'm just saying, like, that's dangerous.
If that was the case, then all this business of you being like, the songs have meaning,
but
would then not turn out to be true,
well,
which would be fucking hilarious.
That's what I was gonna bring up, is that they talked about how they make music at one of the panels, and they said that it was all, like, very intertwined within each other, right? You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know why we have our earphones in. Yeah, we're not listening to anything.
We're not doing a camp video.
Yeah. So, I cannot understand why no one would check it, first of all, and then second, when they talked about how in-depth this process was, like, of how they made their music and everything, like, did this song just not, because she said it's not directly in the show, it doesn't get consulted over, which means all the other songs that are in the show did get a look-see, but, like, why? And not that Jeff can make whatever the fuck he wants. In fact, I would love Jeff to go off and make his own thing somewhere, like, make his own music and stuff not related to RWBY, and I would buy it. But if it's not in the show and doesn't express themes of the show, and doesn't matter to the show, why is it there? Like, what relevance does it have to RWBY? Why is it on the soundtrack? You know, and somebody on my Tumblr brought up a good point, that it may, like, that some of the songs are expressing themes of the show more than foreshadowing, and I totally agree with that. Like, with the conversation with Ruby and her mother, that didn't happen, but it was expressing a theme of loss and how Summer's death affected RWBY. But if she's saying that, like, this song wasn't checked, we don't know if Jeff had any information on whether the ship's gonna happen or not, like, no one looked at it, like, then they're basically kind of saying, like, that it's not, like, one of those songs that actually, like, express something. To me, what her tweets are saying is that it's just a random song that they threw in there, and that will lead to my third problem, which I will get to when you are done talking to me.
There's a third one?
Yes.
I thought there was only 2.
Oh, no! I have 3 points right here.
Oh, shit.
So, well, I guess this is 2 in 1, right? If the songs have no relevance to RWBY whatsoever, they should not be on the track. Second is that management should be looking at this, because like, Miles and Carrie not like, that song called Bumblebee, like, after it came out and was like, I wonder if we might want to talk to Jeff. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot... Like, Hunter, if you wanted to post something on my YouTube channel, I could not imagine checking with you first to make sure you didn't ruin my image. Or something like that.
You can do a perfectly good job of that by yourself.
But you know what I mean? Like, what if you whipped your dick out and, like, I got banned for, like, nudity or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to keep an eye on you and make sure that nothing bad happens.
Why do you think I would whip my dick out?
That was just an example. This is
a horrible analogy.
But you know what I mean,
okay,
right?
Here's the thing.
Someone needs to be overseeing everything from merchandise and all that stuff that come out relating to this show. I can't believe someone didn't look at that, you know?
Truth be told, we really don't know a lot that's going on, so I think that's not what we can really comment with authority. Yeah. I think what we can comment on...
What it said is that it didn't get consulted over, so I think we can say there was a case of mismanagement
What
here.
we can comment on is that it kind of, like, retrospectively, it kind of reeks of queerbaiting.
Okay.
Which is what I think
want to talk about now.
Are really upset about.
That was my, like, 3B, I guess. Like, you know, like, point 3, letter B, if the first one was letter A. If the song doesn't express themes of the show, didn't get consulted over, and has nothing to do with the show. Because let's just say that, you know, she's kind of, like, saying here the piece is just something he wanted to share, and it's not related, like, right now. Maybe it will be in the future, who knows? But, like, say it's not related or whatever, right? Why did he name it after the popular ship, okay, if, like, he knew that maybe it may be a problem for him to do that, because it may dig a hole. Something that a lot of people were replying to me on Tumblr, because I made this post, and, like, a couple people out of the 200 that reblogged it, they talked to me a little bit, and so I've had lots of time to think about this. Like, what if Miles and Carrie feel some sort of pressure now that they have to deliver on something they never even promised because Jeff put something in, but at the same time it's their fault because they didn't look at it first? So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it could also be
like, man,
maybe they paid for studio time and they're just gonna do it anyways. That could also be
significant. But then what's this? You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna do it anyways, what's this?
I think that's... Maybe she knows more than we do. Maybe she may know that Bumblebee might not happen. This is what I'm thinking is happening. I think she's concerned about people being upset.
If it
about
doesn't.
queer baiting.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to, like, everyone calm down. This may not happen. Hold your expectations. Which may mean Bumblebee won't... This is what I see as happening.
Well, it makes sense to say, hey, guys, like, the song's not entirely canon, wait for the show. But it's not, like, if she said that, like, no problem. But if she said, hey, the song didn't get looked at, like, nobody saw it, nobody knows what's going on, like, don't panic, but, like, it's not bait. You know, like, that, to me, is not making me feel better. You know, she could have just said, like, wait and see, like, winky face.
But if it's wait and see, and then it's not that, it's still queerbaiting.
Well, no.
So I feel
she could say, like, we don't know what's gonna happen yet. You guys will just have to watch the show. I wouldn't say that's bait. I would say that's watch the show and figure it out.
The song exists, and then it doesn't, you know,
that
do what
really
it sort of promised.
Bad on
if it really was about the bike.
Oh my god. Okay.
And they don't do what they promised, then that would be queerbaiting. So I think that she's worried about that, and she's trying to brace people, which is honorable, but it's just not necessarily the best way she could have done it.
But why is she defending them then? Because it is. Like, that's what I want to talk about next. She says it's not bait, but at the same time, let's look at it this way, okay? I'm gonna pretend that Jeff is an evil, evil person, and that this is what went through his head. I can make more money if I title a song in the soundtrack that's about probably the most popular ship in the show, put it on pre-order so people will pre-order the soundtrack to get that song in advance, have people talk about the soundtrack, more people will buy the soundtrack, and now people are talking about it because there may be a queer character. That's why we made that LGBT and RWBY video, right? Yeah. And so, I talked to Jeff. Jeff is a wonderful, wonderful person, but I can't ignore the fact that that's what it looks like. That may not be what it is, but you can't ignore what it looks like because that is how maybe people outsiders of the show may see it. Like, maybe they'll see another video of somebody that's really, really angry and be like, oh, shoot, like, that's ugly. I don't want to watch this, you know? Like, that's not nice, right? You know what I mean? And so, I don't think that was Jeff's intention. At the same time, I can't get it out of my head. And third, because the RWBY panel is happening this week, I can't really discount the idea this may be some sort of publicity move anyway, but if it was, it's for a social media manager to do.
I don't think
that Rooster Teeth is, like, evil and conspiring. I'm just saying that is what it may look like. For me, I think it was just mismanagement. I think it was probably a mistake that Jeff didn't think it would do any harm. And, like, maybe he should have asked first. And, like, we also don't know if he did, but then she says it didn't get consulted. So, like, what is the truth?
So it's a lot of confusion. So us saying anything with any sort of authority would be a misnomer.
Yeah, I have nothing sure of myself to say other than the social media account and anything that I said before and those 3 business points. Like, everything else is speculation right now for us.
But truth be told, weren't you not kind of expecting this? Like, for the Bumblebee thing just to be, like, a joke?
Not really.
I was. Like, you need to accept that the world will disappoint you.
Here's the thing for me, is that I saw the song, and I was like, great. I like to analyze lyrics, and yeah, the song was called... That's my problem with this. My biggest problem is that the song was about 2 girls. That's fucking amazing. Like, I love that, alright? But it shouldn't be named Bumblebee because this could cause a major problem in the future. You know what I mean? If the song wasn't named that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the thing is, they brought a ship into it, and now, like, things are not good anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so, I probably still would have enjoyed the song. This wouldn't be anywhere near as bait. Like, if she said, hey, like, there's some confusion about what this song is about, but yeah, it's just a song that Jeff wanted to share and he didn't name it Bumblebee, this would be fine. But the fact that he named it after something and maybe it won't happen, to me that's a little bit of queer baiting. Not by the show. The show didn't do anything wrong, right? But the music did, if that makes sense.
I think that maybe it was sort of I think it was probably just meant to be a joke, sort of novelty song.
Really?
Then was taken.
A joke, and I mean, though?
And ultimately, like, I know because you and a lot of people really like or really give, like,
but the
give
music
a lot
is so
of
seriously,
or like give not a joke, but like a novelty. Like,
I know.
Not to be taken terribly serious.
A lot of people do disagree with me. I saw on Arnold's tweet, he's another RWBY YouTuber, and I saw a lot of people were like, "Yeah, it's just music, man," and I'm like, I mean, it is. But at the same time, it holds so much foreshadowing and so much, like, density in, like, containing the themes of the show and even going as far as predicting some events. And I had an example, in Sacrifice, when Cinder says that the truth will rise revealed by mere eyes. Crow and Raven both have an eye semblance, and in Volume 4... they both revealed the truth about what's actually happening in the world, so that's a good example of a throwaway line that it seems like, but it actually has a lot of thought put into it, because Crow is one eye and she's the other, so it's mirrored. Do you see what I mean? Crow talks about the Brothers Grimm story and all that. That's what I'm calling it. And then Raven says, "I told you Beacon would fall, you motherfucker." You know what I mean? And so the lyrics hold a lot of power, you know? So it's not just a song for us. I know Here's
the thing, like... If you take Moby Dick, right, and you spread all of the words, the text of Moby Dick in a giant square, it predicts, like, 9/11 and Princess Diana's death. That's not because the guy who wrote... That happened. That's not because the guy who wrote Moby Dick is a prophet. It's just because, given enough data, you will find... ways in which there's anomalies, or there's something, or it predicts the death of Princess Diana.
So you're saying that the song may have done it by accident?
I'm saying
not that one, but probably
not Bumblebee, but a lot of songs. And so maybe Jeff or someone didn't realize how serious people took it. Which, to be fair, is we're probably like the first person that should get blamed for taking the show too seriously.
Probably,
but maybe he just didn't think, he underestimated how seriously and in-depth people took it. Maybe he thought that people really would think it was about the bike, or thought it would kind of be just like a self-indulgent track.
But then she says that it was just a piece he wanted to share that wasn't related, right? And so then why involve it as in the show as a joke? That's my... I think we gotta wrap it up, so I would just want to go, like, final points. Social media manager. Social media account management needs to be better when overlooking songs, and probably also when overlooking the voice actors posting. Like, I know Miles and Carrie can't be, like, in their heads or anything, but they should probably have some kind of non-disclosure agreement like celebrities have on movie sets, you know what I mean? Well, obviously they do not!
Well, that's not really... I
know, that's a little bit of sensitive information, right?
I guess.
Then, for my points about the baiting, if the song has nothing to do with the show, it can stay on the soundtrack, I'll give it that. I would prefer if Jeff just made his own music, that would be nice. But it shouldn't have been named after the ship. That was a very poor decision. And if they did do it as a joke, then maybe somebody should have said that.
And who knows, maybe Bumblebee will happen...
And none of this matters, you know?
Because we're stuck between, like, 3 options. Either Bumblebee was happening anyways and it works, either they force Bumblebee to not get people, which I don't think will happen.
People were worried about that Miles and Carrie may feel pressured to do it now.
Which I don't want, because, like, that's like...
I don't really care as long as it's well written, but at the same time, I said on my Tumblr, that's kind of the death of the artist right there. If they're being forced to do something that they do not want to do to please someone, that is fan service. Even if they kind of, like, as I said earlier, they got themselves in this in the first place, and so I don't know how bad I feel.
And the third option is that it's just queerbaiting, and I think that's what Arryn's warning against.
Yeah.
I guess the only points I have is that A, I kind of saw this coming, like I was still guarded about it. B, don't be mean to Arryn. She probably just fucked up a little. Like,
I don't think that it's her fault at all, and I said that at the beginning.
If anything, I think
she's trying... It's probably more of Jeff's fault in this case. I love Jeff. I love CRWBY, you guys. I'm not saying to go attack them. I'm just saying... Like, they're human, they make mistakes, but this is a big mistake that probably could have been avoided.
I think, ultimately, if anything, I think she was trying to, like, warn people. If anything, I think she was trying to do a good thing.
Yeah, I know, but if she didn't, the world wouldn't end, you know what I mean? No. But now, like, the sky's fallen a little bit, but we'll see.
Sky's falling!
Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. That's pretty much all I think we have to say.
It was always about the bike.
Oh my god, and share your thoughts. I've seen a lot of people talk to me on Tumblr already, but the more the merrier.
That Tumblr post has gotten
Tumblr post has gotten distance, yeah. We've gotten a lot of likes and reblogs and replies and stuff today. And so, yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything I said, I will clarify for you, by the way.
And remember, kids,
and if you misunderstand...
We still have fanfiction.
If you misunderstand something that I said, I will go in and correct you. So...
Fanfiction is cheaper than therapy.
Alright, bye guys!